while you're running, right? And there's like bulls to the left of you.
There's
like,
bulls near you.
Oh, I'm talking like an inch away.
So, okay. So it's not like people don't outrun them.
The like professionals, the guy who've been doing like 25 years, like they run between them and like it's like scary, whatever. But like most of the people are just sprinting down the street and like the bulls start to catch up to you.
You hear,
You don't even hear that, bro. You feel the floor just,
oh my God.
and you're like, yo, the floor is shaking.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
I had no prior knowledge of the planned assault on Nancy Kerrigan.
I am deeply sorry for my irresponsible and selfish behavior I engaged in.
Guys, welcome back. Oops, the podcast. Giulio Gallerati. I'm here with my man, Ryan Lynch. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Feeling good. I'm doing well, dude. I'm doing well. Thank you. Today, we have a special guest on the show. This guy is a newer friend of mine in comedy. I know that usually on this show, every time I'm like, I've known you for like 15 years. We've probably been friends for a couple of years, right?
15 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking
2 years hanging around the comedy clubs doing shit. He's out here hustling. You can catch him on the road. We'll have you plug some of your dates in a second. But very, very funny guy. Please give it for Max Manticof, everybody. Max Manticof on the show.
Welcome to Oops.
Welcome to Oops, Max. So yeah, what do you got coming up? You got some good road stuff coming up.
yeah, nothing I want to promote.
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
Good for you. No, I was like, oh, damn.
Seattle, New York, pull up, Seattle. I think the Crocodile, right? Is that the one that you
Hereafter.
said? Yeah. I'm there all weekend, 4 shows, pull up. First time out there, don't really know what to do. I know it's going to be shitty and cold and rainy. That's what I've heard.
No, dude, it's great. We were just talking last episode about how I'm planning to move there.
Really?
We're trying to get me a job at Microsoft.
Are you sad?
And I'm going to move to Seattle. What?
Are you sad?
No, dude, but that's why I'll do well there. the weather isn't going to like throw me off, you know?
You said it's cuddly.
It's
You
cuddly.
said it's cuddly weather.
That's some marriage shit, dude.
Some
Fucking,
cuddly.
I don't need cuddly. I need the sun out and some alcohol and a roof and
Sun's
like,
out, buns
like
out,
a
dude.
good fucking time. You know,
Nice.
like I'm seasonal. Like depression is gonna hit me in like 2 months.
You get seasonal depression?
I would never say it, but I'm gonna go ahead and say I feel something.
Yeah.
Something's off.
Yeah.
Like when it's December, I'm like I don't feel good.
Are you going to try to like offset your winter with warm comedy?
I've tried it, but also I'm like every time I do that, it's almost like back and forth because then it's like you experience highs. Like I'm like out on the road and then I come back and I'm like, oh, now I'm more sad.
Yeah.
I fucking hate being like,
That's true.
If you sit in the sadness, you go, this feels normal. Like it's almost like you find this happy medium. If I'm gone and come back, I'm like, this is trash.
Well, bro, if you think about it too, like there's only a few places in the country that are actually like fully warm the whole year too.
San Diego. I mean,
San
I used to
Diego's one
live
of
there,
them.
which is that's why it's sad because I go back and I'm like, this place is amazing.
Yeah.
But for comedy, trash. Like it's not really great.
I mean, there's just like, I think people now who listen to podcasts like understand this, but there's only a few cities that have like a really good comedy scene. And then like places that have good comedy clubs. But if you're like developing as a comic, you kind of want to be in like one of a few places.
Yeah, it's also going to be like there are 2 guys who are like, that's the guy. This
Right.
guy goes up. This guy's moving to New York next year. And
Right.
you're like, sick.
Yeah.
Like,
And the moving to next year guy, that can be hard. It's almost like going from being the #1 junior in the world to then playing on the pro tour. Like it doesn't always translate.
yeah, you're like top 5 AAU. It's
That's
like,
gotta
bro,
be
like,
hard.
You're not in the league. Like you're playing against different competition. Yeah.
I always think about if that would have like fucked up my experience doing comedy. If I started in another market, I started here. I started in another market and like I was the big dog there and I move here and then like some other guy who was beneath me moves here and starts killing it. And now he's like sunning me and shit.
I mean, that happens.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Dude, same. And I don't even like understand that it's happening because all those people who like come from those scenes, they have their own little thing.
Yeah.
Their own little like social scene.
Also, those, like, what's nice though about coming from another scene is like when you come home, you're like a hometown hero.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Like when I go back to San Diego, even though I'm from here, I started there. So when I go back, everyone's like, fucking Max is back in
he's
town.
back,
Put him on all the
dude.
shows. And you're like,
That's
this
cool.
is nice. Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like you get that at least. Like you get a sign of respect where people are like, well, this guy's doing it. Even if you're in New York bombing. Like you could be in New York not killing it, but like on social media, they're like, oh, fucking
yo,
let's
he's
go,
out here.
dude. Yeah.
I saw your clip, dude.
Yeah. Yo, your clip did 900
was
likes.
fire,
You're
bro.
like,
It's
fucking,
hard.
okay,
Yeah.
sick. It doesn't help though. Like, it doesn't help your actual comedy career, but like, I guess, like
all
the faking
helps.
till you make it shit helps, you
Yeah.
know? Or people will see it online and they're like, fucking, I can't believe you got to work with Mark Normand. And you're like I guess, yeah.
see him
Like,
all
I'm not
the time.
opening for him. You're just on the show with him.
Yeah.
But they don't understand that concept of like how the city works.
Yeah. Interesting. It's so funny, dude. It's it's a grind. Okay, I have a specific question for you guys
Hit me.
that I'm curious about. So
I don't use condoms.
Okay, good. Moving on. Checked off. I really fucking hate taking Ubers to JFK. It's just so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you this. So last night I get home from Seattle actually, and it was 11:30, and one of the subway trains goes right near my apartment. So I looked at the Ubers. They're like, $90 or whatever. I'm like, fuck that. I get on the AirTran, which is like the train that takes you to the train. Waited mad long for that. Then I get off and I'm about to get on the subway, but I'm like, let me see how much Ubers are here. They're like 45. And if you wanted to do like an Uber pool, it's like 35.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like, that could be something. But I was like, you know what? I already spent a half an hour to get here to begin with.
Yeah.
I'm just going to take the subway. But then I waited for it took me like 2.5 hours to go.
Are you bagged up though? Like, did you have a bunch of shit with you?
Yeah. I had
That's rough.
But okay. I had a roller bag with a backpack that slides right on top. It's right there. You can see it right there. Haven't unpacked yet. And then I had a big tripod because my little tripod, which I would normally bring and put in my carry-on, Zach Ray, the guy who does my travel shit with me, he still has the top piece for
You're
it.
walking around like a videographer, dude.
What up?
I said you're walking around like a videographer.
I know.
Just mad equipment.
Mad shit. Yeah. So my question becomes, which of those scenarios is the proper play?
There is none, dude.
So what would you do?
I mean, I've seen people do this. Like someone will just, which is crazy to start asking strangers, but you're like, is anyone going to the city? Like when you see, like I've seen people
Like in a
especially
taxi?
by the taxis. So it's like taxis are different than like an Uber. But if you go up to like the taxi station and you ask someone, you're like, are you going to the city? And someone's like, yeah. You're like, I'll just split it with you. I'll get off wherever you're going. And then it's like $30 because I think like the max of taxi.
I think it's more.
That's
There's a
what's
flat
crazy.
rate for the taxi from JFK.
Yes.
It's like
So
90, I think, or
I
something.
think it's 65. I think it's
It
not
ends up
that
being more.
bad.
I can look it up, but taxis have been a lot more expensive
I think
recently.
the last time I did it, it was like 100.
I do think it's crazy though. Like an Uber can cost you like $100, and you're like, bro, I paid less
more
than
than the
this
flight.
for like some of the flights. Yeah, like I spent
I can't
more
stomach it.
on Ubers, like because I was in Kansas City, $50 on the Uber, both like to the airport when I got there and coming back, and then from the airport here home, spent like $200 something on Ubers. I'm like, the flights were only like $250. I was like, bro,
fuck that shit.
So right now there's a flat fare of $70 and then a $5 surcharge fee if you're taking a taxi between 4 and 8 p.m. So $75
From JFK.
from
But that's-
JFK to Manhattan.
That's crazy that they don't have
I think it ends up being more too.
a flat rate for like Uber. Like,
Yeah, I
why
know.
is that a flat rate on that? But yet Uber can be like, well, it's raining $165. And
Literally.
you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think that's the exact amount I was explaining to Julia. I was in Soho and I live in Williamsburg and it was like 1.2 miles away and it was around $160.
That's insane.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think Uber's just trying to turn a profit because they were just eating it for so long trying to get people to download the app. So now they're just charging these
Really?
insane prices because they actually have to turn a profit for once. Yeah.
I think they've been making money though. Like you got to imagine this. Like people will be like, oh, well, they're losing money on rides, but like you know what they're making money on? Advertisements. They're making moning on everything. Like certain brands are advertising on Uber now. Like there's stuff in the cars, there's stuff on the cabs, there's stuff on their website. Like you're still making money off that. That's not eating anything. And those are millions and millions of dollars worth of campaigns. Like of course you're giving some people some free shit, but like you're never losing money.
Well, I want to work there. This is one of the companies that we're campaigning to get me a job at to make internal content.
At Uber?
Uber, Microsoft, and Amazon.
I've driven Lyft and like the money was half. Like during the pandemic, I drove in summer of 2020. I made more than like friends who have like real jobs.
You made a lot of money?
Bro,
Now I want to work at the corporate
I'm telling you
office.
right now, Lyft, whoever the fuck is listening, I made $20,000 in the month of July
What?
in 2020.
What?
Yeah.
After taxes?
No, like before tax.
$20,000.
But like obviously like your gas
In
stuff
1 month?
1 month, bro.
That's crazy.
It was the craziest thing. I mean, I was driving insane because there was no drivers. There was like a bunch of bonuses. To be exact, I think I made like 17, 18. But regardless, like it was crazy, bro. Like
Okay, well, question. So what do we land on here? What is the proper way to approach what I did with the scenario I just described?
nothing.
So do you just live at the airport now?
Yeah. you don't take the train home and you wait till the Ubers are $15.
But they never will be.
No, I know.
Dude.
So there's no solution.
You have a new
To
home.
you, there's no proper
you stay there for days. Like you start to set up a house until the cops come up to you and they're like, what are you doing here? And you go, I actually live in Manhattan.
Dude.
And then a cop goes, I got to drive you home.
Oh, so you just get a ride from the cops after you
yeah.
squat for too
Commit
long.
a crime. Something small.
Wear them down.
Yeah.
Those tripod bags are very heavy and they slip. The little straps that you throw over your shoulder, like they never stay on. So to be walking down that thin escalator to get to the subway.
It's annoying.
Did you end up taking the subway?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you went down the really thin escalator and just to go through the turnstile and all that. That's a pain in the ass.
Well, the turnstile there just opens like this at the airport at the airport stop. So I didn't have to like fucking.
Well, also you have a regular size bag.
Yeah.
Like some people have fucking suitcases and will land and they're like, what the fuck do I do? Like my bag weighs 50 pounds. This is gigantic.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, at that point, go commit a crime, dude.
So no, dude, I'm unclear still, to be for real, if it makes sense to take the AirTran for $8 and then Uber from there, or if it's at that point, is the point of the Uber is convenience, saving time, right? So it's like you pay to save the time or you just take the subway like a fucking plebeian. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, the 50-50 solution isn't necessarily a good solution.
No, because it's still taking you like that hour plus to get home.
Exactly. So it's like take the Uber. Yeah, I'm still anti-Uber from the airport unless it's like $40.
Well, that's what sucks, is especially like with comedy, usually
LaGuardia.
you're alone. You're by yourself.
Yeah.
Like if I'm with someone else and the Uber is $80, I'll eat that. That's fine. That's $40 each. Because in my head, I'm like, all right, I'll be home.
Right, but
for
like,
$40.
but if it's your show, you're not going to make your opener pay, are you?
Of course not.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, but who would you be going to the airport with then?
Fucking, I don't know.
Whoever.
Like, not
You're doing,
everything
like,
is
a
for
festival
comedy.
or something?
Yeah, some people are going on
Okay.
vacation.
Right. Okay.
Like if I'm
Sorry.
with 3 people and we go $90, we
Right.
go, well, 30
Easy, of
each
course.
is fine. Like it seems normal, but like if it's just you, paying
Sucks.
$100 for a fucking car ride is
sucks.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, a hill dog with my girl. We always will Uber. She's like you said,
Yeah.
we're splitting it. It's like not a big deal. But yeah, still unclear to me. I'm like, fuck, dude, what's the proper solution here?
There is none. There literally is none.
The solution is flying to LaGuardia.
I was literally about to say that. I think it's like every single time I fly out now, I
LaGuardia's so
try to
easy.
fly out Delta LaGuardia. First of
Yeah.
all, that terminal, incredible. Number 2,
Yeah.
just closer. Like,
Nicest airport.
And I have a car. So I have a car in the city. So what I do is usually I drive into Queens and then Uber from my car. So I leave my car parked middle of nowhere.
Really?
I swear. Not middle of nowhere. It's
you
like
just
I
find
know
a spot on the
spots.
street?
Like, yeah, well, I grew up in Astoria. So I grew up in Queens. So it's like I know where to park.
You'll do like alternate side?
Sometimes I park in places where there's like warehouses and shit where there are an alternate side.
It's just like easy.
Yeah. I also have like a beater. It's not like I'm driving like an M3 and leaving it there. It's like no one's going to break into my car. And if they do, hey, I might make some money.
Yeah.
Like if
hilarious.
someone broke into my car and I hit up my insurance, they might be like, you actually just upgraded your windows.
Max is a very resourceful young man. He's constantly doing things and he always has a solution for any problem. I'm like, asking him about merch. I'm like, dude, so like, what's the deal? He's like, oh, bro, my guy, like, he does the embroidery. Like, I got like 75 shirts, dude. Like,
I have a guy. I always have a guy. But like I grew up here though.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it kind of
yeah.
makes it easier to just be like, oh, I know this guy that like failed out of high school, but now makes clothing. And you're like, I'll hit up him, you know? And then he's like, oh, I would love to help you out. And I know this merchant, like some people like that's their job. So like I just go to the people that have been doing the same thing. Like if I need a haircut, I go to a girl that studied cosmetology at my high school who now owns a
Interesting,
salon. And
interesting,
she's like,
interesting,
I
interesting.
got you.
The
And I'm
network.
like, sick. This just helps.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Interesting.
you got to do when you're poor.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do out there. You know what I mean? Dude, there's nothing like a pair of underwear that fits you properly.
Nice and snug.
Just nice and snug, perfect fit. And I'll tell you what, when I'm wearing a pair of underwear that fits me better, I'm actually more confident. And that may not make sense, but like I could be wearing my normal clothes. If your underwear fit you right, it makes you feel like better about your body. I don't know how to explain that.
Makes you feel more put together.
Do you feel that way? Yeah.
I
like,
do, yeah.
I don't like
checks out.
I don't like when I'm spilling because I'm wearing too tight of underwear. Dude. You know, no spills this fall, dude. You guys got to make sure that you are the most comfortable you could possibly be in your undergarments, especially as it starts to get a little chillier out there. We recommend MeUndies.
We love MeUndies.
We truly love MeUndies. They're great. They're fun. They're comfortable. This feels like an exciting milestone for us to have MeUndies in the mix. It makes a great gift. It's good for you. It's good for them. It's good for everybody. MeUndies, it is completely where it's at. They make some of the most breathable products. MeUndies fabrics are light and breathable to help regulate your body temperature so that you stay cool and comfy. And they are responsibly sourced. They use sustainably sourced materials and work with partners that care for their workers. And they have a problem-free philosophy. If you're not happy with your first pair of undies, it is on Me Undies. So what you can do right now to get 25% off of your first order plus free shipping, go to meundies.com/oops. That's meundies.com/oops for 25% off plus free shipping. MeUndies, comfort from the outside in. Dude, okay, I wanted to ask you about this specifically.
Hit me.
You know where I'm going with this.
What?
You had a tough night a few weeks ago. Bro.
I didn't know if people could see it.
So Max,
Scar patches,
Matt,
man.
like, you know, you posted about it. I was like, Jesus. And I haven't really like asked about it. And I don't know that I've ever like thoroughly asked anybody about the process of what happened to you.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about it and see if you want to like give us a rundown on the story.
I can like talk about like the physical things that happened. Like I can't really talk too much in detail because it's like an open case.
Oh,
But,
interesting.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So there's like a detective involved, police were involved.
Oh, I was going to ask that
lawyers,
too.
everything. Yeah. So like,
Okay. So I guess
they have to keep that as a disclaimer. But in regards to like what happened is like I was just walking home after a VMA party. 2 dudes walked up on me, pepper sprayed the shit out of me like 4 or 5 times. Couldn't see anything. Like, mind you, I'm just going home. So now I'm like,
it was like any night.
bro, I like, and here's the thing is I'm in the city. It was like a 7-block walk home. So I was like, of course, once again, I'm not taking the Uber. Should have taken the fucking Uber, but the Uber's like $30 at that time, $40 because the VMAs ended, after parties ended. I was like, I don't want to pay mad money for this fucking couple.
So you were
block
leaving
walk.
a VMA after party?
Yeah.
So do you think that they were like trying to pick off people leaving the VMA
I think
after
so, and I
party?
had my hair down. I look pretty and shit. So I was like, bro, they came. I was like, yo, we're gonna fuck up this dude with nice hair, and just like washed my shit, like straight up pepper sprayed a couple times. Like we're kicking the back of my legs to like trip me in the video. Like kids got good balance.
You
kid's
found
an
it?
Athlete.
You've seen the video?
Yeah.
Was it hard to watch?
Not really. No. If anything, it felt better to watch because like in my head, I swear to God, when I was walking up to see the video, I was like, please don't let me know these people because I'm gonna go to jail.
Right.
You get me? Like if
Can you like see them at all?
if I physically recognize that person, I'm going to harm that person because I'm like, you did this to me. You like the way it was done was on some bitch ass shit. So it's like, not only did you pepper spray me, then while I'm pepper sprayed, you like knocked me down to the floor, walked up to me and stomped me out and like kicked me and beat the shit out of me. It's like,
It's crazy.
this wasn't even like throw hands like a man. Like if you're going to rob me, walk up to me, gunpoint, be like, run your pockets. That's fine. If you're going to rob me, walk up to me and jump me or whatever. Like there's an easier way. Like if multiple people come up on me and I have my phone in my wallet, someone goes, run your shit. I go, here you go.
Yeah, right. It doesn't have to turn
It's one
into
or the
you
other.
getting-
It's here you go, or I dip and I sprint and then like, then they beat the shit out of you. But there was none of that. There was never like a confrontation. I never had a chance to fight back. It was just pepper sprayed, blind, and now I'm just getting washed.
Were they big dudes?
Yo, like 300-pound dudes.
Wow.
Multiple. I was like, y'all are soft.
3 of them?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Jesus. So were they wearing masks or anything?
Yeah. They're
Like ski masks?
Yeah,
or whatever?
they're idiots. Like
what do they call those again?
Huh?
What do they call those masks again?
Baklavas.
Well, gee, that too. But there's been some other term I've been hearing for it.
Shiesties.
Shiesties.
Yeah,
Yes. Shiesty.
Yeah.
So they roll up on you with shiesties. They pepper spray you, beat the shit out of you, take all your shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
insane.
And then
dude.
what's nice though about like Manhattan is there's fucking cameras everywhere. So
Everywhere.
they just track them, masks off, finally can see their face.
And they found him.
Yeah. Like, I mean, they have like faces, names, everything. That's what I'm saying. It's like a complete open case. They're figuring that out. But it's annoying because it's like all this
I
shit
didn't
takes
know
a
that.
while. If I would have died, they go harder. on paper, they're just like, oh, it was an assault 3. We'll get him when we get him. And you're like, yo, go fucking arrest that guy. Like, fuck that guy. I got a scar on my face, but it is what it is. I had headphones in. I was a little drunk going home. Like 0% aware.
The amount of times I've been doing that too, like that story worries me a bit.
That's what sucks. It's like I do it so many times. Like I spoke to one of the bartenders at like this bar that I go to, and he was like, bro, I wear headphones and I don't even play music when I go home. I was like, that's crazy.
Wow. So were they hiding in behind something? Like
No, just walked up on
Walked
me.
up on you from behind.
Walked up on me first. Guy was like talking to me for like maybe 5 seconds. In my head, I'm like, this is a conversation.
what was he saying?
Huh?
Was it?
I
What's
don't know. I
up?
had headphones on. So it's like as he's talking, I was like, what? So like I start to pay attention. Boom, pepper spray. Everything fucked up.
So he got your attention. The
Yeah.
other dudes showed up with the pepper spray.
Just fucking no. He pepper sprayed me.
Oh damn!
It was so quick. He had that shit like a fucking just quick draw, bro. Just out here fast as fuck. And well, this is what's crazy. Is like when you get pepper sprayed, you're not like, I'm gonna sprint away. It's like once you get hit, even if it hits your nose, your eyes are burning. So like
it hurts.
Oh, it hurts so much. And he didn't spray me once. He sprayed me like 4 or 5 times. That shit was in my hair. That shit was on my clothes. That shit was all over my face. And then once they beat the shit out of me, it was in the cuts. I've never felt pain like that in my life. Women talk about giving birth. That hurts worse. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, yo.
Okay, we'll bring that up for discussion in the future.
Yo,
Pepper
I'm
spray
talking
versus-
screaming in pain. Like, my pain tolerance is high. I like, once the pepper spray got in the cuts, I was like screaming. I was like, it felt like someone was like melting my face off.
Oh my God.
Because here's the thing is, I don't know what I got hit with. I don't know if I got fucking, like someone just threw acid at my, like I have no idea. All I know is everything burns and I'm looking down. I can barely see anything. All I see is blood dripping all over me. And I'm like, yo,
what the
I got washed. Like, it was one of those moments where I was like, bro, is this a dream?
Jesus.
Do you
pass out at some point?
No, I was like I said, I was fucked up. Like,
and did somebody come help you?
EMTs came and they did not help me with a goddamn thing. Like,
how did they, but had you called 911?
Some lady did.
And was she standing next to you being like, you're going to be okay?
No, what's crazy about it, I told my friend this, which is hilarious, but like when I'm fucked up, right? So like I'm on the street, I can't see anything. I'm like bleeding. I was like fucking, like I can sense that there's like people around me. Like when I walk, but also when I got washed, no one walked up to me for like 5 minutes. There was people that walked by my body, which felt insane because I'm on the floor.
And you're like, can you help me?
No, I couldn't say anything because I'm just fucking washed. But in the video, when you're watching me on the floor, you're like just watching people walk by. You're like, that's insane.
Damn.
There's like no sense of like life. Like I get minding your business, but like I've had people mind my business for less shit than that.
Yeah.
Like for that, you don't walk up on someone. You're like, yo, you good? You fine? Whatever. And like I look up, I was fucked up. Like
Jesus
washed.
Christ,
Yeah.
dude. Well, look, I mean, you look pretty good, all things considered.
Dude,
You're on the
no
mend.
jaw, no teeth, no, like nothing was broken, which was like, thank God. But like, fuck my finger up a little. My finger's still a little washed. But like, face, the 2 scars.
It's kind of hard.
It is. I mean, I'm signed to like fucking a modeling agency, and they're like, "Yo, let's come do headshots." I was like, "Tough."
Yo, yeah, for real. Now
So
you got like
yo,
that little extra thing
it
that's
is
gonna
what
make
it
you an
is, yeah.
icon, bro.
Like, throw
That's
me in
like
an
having a
action
gap
movie.
tooth. You know what I mean?
Honestly,
it's like
yeah.
having your little fucking.
Or having anything like discoloration, having something they're just like, "Oh, this makes him different. This makes you."
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Like,
You looking all like this, and then she's telling your story. It's like, I got this shit.
well, now I could.
Somebody pull up on me.
But that's what's annoying is like I don't want that. Like that invites negative energy. Like I'm walking around with scars. If I look
people
serious
like-
on the train, people are like, "Oh, he wants problems."
Yeah.
Like, I don't, bro. I'm good. It's like having teardrop tattoos when you're not about that life. You're inviting danger. It's like I got scars by my eyes here and here. This one's so obvious. The one by like over here, you could be like, "Oh, he might have fallen." This one looks like I fight like MMA
Yeah.
and like I lost a fight.
That looks like somebody had the little Q-tip and was fucking like, all right,
some
go
shit.
back out there.
Yeah, and was like, fucking, a little Vaseline, fucking, you got this, round 5, you got to knock him out. You're like, all right, I guess I'll go out there. Wash, though. Like, this was cut wide open. Like, it was bad.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, like I said, EMTs did nothing. Yo, I walked home.
Oh, my God.
How insane is that?
That's crazy.
I walked home that
Were
night.
they, do you want to go to the hospital?
Yo, well, this is what he said. He was like, yo, you want to get in the ambulance? And I was like, I don't have insurance. And he's like, well, you either get in the ambulance or you don't. And I was like, yo, I just got fucking jumped. Like, give me another option. The next day, I call the police like 8 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, obviously just mad blood on my pillow. I went home, I washed out my face. I put like a rag on it, try to like wrap it.
Were you Googling like what should you do after you get pepper sprayed?
Also,
or you just didn't
so
know?
fucking dumb for me to go to sleep. Because like if I was concussed, you could die. Like they hit me in the face with like a boot. Like I had a huge bump back of my head, bump on the side. Like they hit me on different sides, but obviously caught me in my face as well. But like I could have easily been concussed and like have died off of like sleeping. That's the scariest part for me. Like the scar is obviously terrible. It's painful, whatever. But like painful is completely different than like the actual risk of dying. Like they fucked me up and the hospital was like, yo, thank God you didn't die or nothing. Like they ran a CAT scan, they ran everything. It was like $10,000 worth of medical bills. But when I spoke to like the social worker, she was like, oh, just to let you know, like if this is an assault, this is covered by the city.
Oh, fuck.
Because you were assaulted. So like what's crazy is the EMTs didn't tell me
What the
that.
fuck? Yeah.
Exactly. That's my point. Like once the EMTs didn't tell me that, they're like, yo, bro, you can either get on or not. And I was like, I'm not. Like, I'm just not getting on the ambulance. Because I asked them, I was like, what can y'all do for me? They're like, well, we're going to take you there. You probably got to get stitched up. And I was like, that's it? They're like, yeah. I was like, well, then I'm not paying an ambulance to get stitched up. I'll walk home.
Right.
And so they're like, all right, we're going to leave. And I was like, can y'all clean me up at least like before I go home? Bro, the guy gave me a gauze pad in my hand.
Damn.
And he was like, here.
There you go, dude.
Barely
Damn,
did
dude,
anything.
damn.
They did nothing.
That's
bro.
savage.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited for these guys to go to jail.
I hope so.
And it's funny, like how stupid, like it's just so stupid of them. Like
Yeah.
how stupid can you be? Like, and what for what? They got a phone and a couple and
Here's the thing
$500
is,
or something.
my phone and wallet were in the possession of someone else, so it could have. No one even knows how that got there.
Oh, somebody else ended up having it?
Yeah.
How did they find it?
So they could have just like throw out like for example, like someone could take your phone and be like, so you can't call the police, and then just throw it out the window like a block or two later.
Oh,
Like they can figure out something to do.
But
with it.
shouldn't they just wipe it and sell it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is like
Serial
maybe
numbers and
like
shit?
the idea was like maybe they just want to see what I had. Took my wallet, probably took the 500 cash out, and then fucking dumped everything. And we're like, all right, let's just take whatever he has, like physically. Because my phone was found at like a homeless shelter, and then my wallet was used at like a CVS for like $180 that night.
Damn.
So it's
bro.
like probably like random fucking people found it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Yeah. Wow. Dude. I don't know, man. That's pretty crazy.
And I've been in some shit. Like that's what pisses me off. It's like that of all nights, that happens on like a random night where like I dressed kind of nice. Like I wasn't like
how nice are we talking?
Bro, I've been walked up on with like a dude, like a gang of like 10 Vietnamese people with pool sticks in Vietnam, and got away with that.
What'd you do?
Huh? I was like, what's up? I was kind of just like, they walked up on me. What am I supposed to do?
Were you just like fucking square up?
Matrix, just fucking what's up, bro? No, but like they walked up and actually this is hilarious. This is such a me thing to do. But I was at like a club in Vietnam, and the DJ booth wasn't even a DJ booth. It was just a fucking laptop. So I was kind of lit, and I'm at this club. Mind you, it's kind of empty. There's like fucking 20 people left. So I walk up to the booth, and I just change the music to rap music. And then the guy comes up to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just putting like the club is closing. Like I'm just putting this on." And he's like, "Don't fucking touch the music or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not like it wasn't that serious." And then they put his music back on. I just sat there, and he just kept like kind of getting loud with me, but also we don't speak that. There's like a language barrier. So all I know is you're screaming and I'm not. So I was like, "Bro, relax."
Yeah. So he's like, "I just called the pool stick boys to pull up."
Well, that's exactly what happened. And then these guys walked up on me in the club, and I was
like Kill Bill.
"Is this
There's
the
like 10 of
kitchen?
them.
Yeah. Like, are these the cooks in the back? Like, what's happening?"
Hilarious.
I don't know. So I'm like sitting there, and then as they're walking me out, one guy with a pool stick hits my shoulder like hard, like he like to like push me out. And so that's when I turned around, I grabbed a stick and I threw it on the ground. I was like, "The fuck are you doing?" And then that's when they like crowded around me, like pushed me out of like the bar, and I'm standing there. It's like me. Maybe like 10 people from my hostel, like standing behind me. And
The hostel squad's strong,
bro,
dude.
funny because two of the kids were like, "Yo, we had you back." I was like, "There's no way," but it is what it is. And these dudes are like standing there with a pool stick, and then one of the dudes was like, "Yo, leave it, man. It's fine, whatever. Like, it's pointless. Like, if anything happens here, the cops are siding with them. It doesn't matter like what they did to you. Like, we're in Vietnam. Like, I'm losing this fight legally and physically, no matter what.
There's no point in getting that smoke there.
And then we went back to our hostel, and like, I guess like the leader or whatever, like the guy who was like the tough guy, he like sits across at like a coffee shop from our hostel and is just watching us all night, bro. And we're just sitting there playing ping pong, and I see him, right? And so I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go speak to this guy." So I go across the street to speak to him, and he starts like yelling at me from like across the street, and I was like, "Bro, I'm trying to shake this man's hand." Obviously, like I said, language barrier. For me, I'm just like, "Bro, we're good." Like, I don't even see what you're doing. Like, off of me changing his music on the club that was like dead. In my head also, there's not a DJ, there's a laptop on a table. And like, no one's there. Like, if there was a guy, it's not like I was like,
That was a
over.
jukebox to you.
To me, that's exactly what it was. I was like, "Oh, we just taking turns on the aux."
Maybe he just really hated 50 Cent or something.
I guess,
Whenever
bro.
he
And I
fucking
think I
pulled
threw on
up.
like Tory Lanez at the time. But like, that's when Tory was fine.
Before
This was
Tory.
2021. This was pre-shooting. Yeah. This is when he put out like Fever or some shit. And I was like, that shit goes, bro.
Dude, damn. Well, I'm happy that you survived.
Yeah,
That is pretty scary.
Alive. Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. I mean, just be careful out there, everybody. And I'm glad we learned some shit here. If you were assaulted, you can get in the ambulance and you're good.
Yo, honestly, I think that's the one thing I learned.
Yeah.
Where it's like, if anything happens to you on the street, you're fine. Like, even if you were like, I don't know. Like, even if you get robbed and you could be like, someone pushed you and robbed you, it's like you're entitled to like be taken to a hospital, just like make sure you're good. Like, it could be the smallest injury is what they told me. They're like, it could have been anything. Like, the guy could have hit you and you weren't passed out and we would have had to. But like, the fact that the ambulance looked at me and they were like, "Oh, you're bleeding, you're pepper sprayed, you're fucked up." They're like, "Ambulance or not." You're like, that's insane.
You should do that outside of JFK. You get a free ride into the city.
Yeah.
Right?
Boom!
If you get washed.
Solved.
If you get washed.
Julio, not again.
Just find some there's always sketchy dudes like lingering around the subway station. Just go up to one of them and fucking push them, dude.
Yeah. And then you get rocked and you're like, well,
get a free ride into the city. You just wake up in fucking the Jamaica hospital, and they're like, you still have to Uber home, dude.
Yeah, I'd be so. You go further. They take you into Long Island.
Yeah.
Like how'd I end up in fucking Bellevue in Long Island, dude?
Hilarious. You just wake up in Vietnam with fucking doctor holding a pool stick over your head. You're like, no.
The stitches are cheaper here.
Yeah.
You're like, what the
You're
fuck?
like, what the fuck?
That's the one
dude?
thing I will say though in Vietnam, which is kind of cool, is like, if you did get injured, bro, you'd go to like the doctor. It was a guy that I didn't believe was a doctor. I was like, you bought this somewhere. He would just have like a jacket on, and then he'd prescribe you like a fucking like 120 pills for like $1.
Yeah.
Of like whatever, bro. It was insane.
Of whatever you need.
Of whatever. Like you'd
crazy.
walk up. I had like a crazy leg infection, like a staph infection in my knee.
Were you swimming in the river? We were talking about this last episode.
I was in a motorcycle accident. So it's like I was in an accident, and then I guess it got infected because I was like swimming in waters and shit.
Yeah.
And like my leg, like it was to the point where I was hanging myself upside down like a chicken almost, like in a hospital bed. And I would like from my ankle pull down, and just loads of pus would come out of my leg out of the hole. It was like a bullet wound. But like in my head, I was like, I have to drain my leg. Everything that I Googled online was like, drain it if you can, if you don't have like medical assistance. In my head, I was like, I'm in Vietnam. I'm not home for another 2 months.
Damn.
Bro, there's a photo of like me in like the mountains of Vietnam with like some lady holding like a rice bag. And I'm just standing there, and you look at my leg, and it literally looks like two different legs.
It's like Requiem for a Dream.
Bro,
Just gotta fucking amputate that shit. So when you went to the doctor, was he like...
Well, he told me, he was like, you did a great job. Because I told him, I was like, I just been draining the pus
really?
out. Yeah, and he's like, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. He's like, it's good that you're draining it. Because he asked me, he's like, what'd you do? And I was like, well, I put like a really tight band around here, like around my knee, so like the pus can't go past my kneecap. And then once I drained it, like my knee would get like fat, but like the pus would stop here. So like then I would grab it. And
Was
like,
it painful?
Oh, it was so painful.
Was it satisfying kind of though?
A little. Yeah.
This sounds kind of sick.
It was like one of those things that you watch on TikTok.
I would have liked to watch it. Yeah.
But yeah, like
My
Dr.
whole
Pimple
algorithm is
Poppers or
that.
some
Yeah.
shit.
It's all extraction.
It was exactly that. But I was like, I mean, whatever. Like if this is all I can do in Vietnam, sure, I'll do it.
Damn, dude. Guys, if you're looking for a good gift to give this holiday season and you can't really think of anything, we recommend the Skylight Frame. It really is a good gift. It's very intuitive and user-friendly. All generations will have no problems with it. We've gifted it to some older people in our circles, and they not only love it, but they really know how to use it. And it's actually quite sweet seeing them be competent and using technology like that. It's great. And you know, it doesn't just have to be for the elderly. Like, it's a great thing to give anybody. I think too, like if you are in a long-term relationship, and you know, how sweet would it be to compile a bunch of photos from your early stages, or like a photo from your anniversary every year? Like, I don't know. There's so many different fun, thoughtful ways to do it. And it's an affordable gift that you can also make very personal. And I always think, we've talked about this before, but I believe in the gift triangle, which is something, it's the three S's. Yeah. It's sensible, sentimental, stylish. And this crushes all of those. You know what I mean? It's a sensible way to put together for lack of a better term, like almost like a collage, a digital collage, or just a memory journey. It's a decoration, so it'll look good in your house. And it is sentimental. It's sweet. You get to hear all these great memories. So we think the Skylight Frame is a home run gift, and we think you guys will too. So as a special limited time offer for our listeners, get $15 off of your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com/oops. To get $15 off of your purchase of a Skylight Frame, just go to skylightframe.com/oops. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/oops to get your Skylight Frame today. So I knew you were in Southeast Asia. Were you just in Vietnam?
I was everywhere. Like I traveled like everywhere.
For how long?
Like almost a year and a half, 2 years, close to.
All down there?
A lot of Europe. I did like most of Europe.
Consecutively 1.5 years of travel.
So I went Europe to Asia. That was probably like a 7-month stretch. Then I came back home for like 3 months, and then I went right back out. And then I came home for like 2 months because it was my mom's birthday. Wanted to surprise her. And then I went back out. And then from there, I went to like Israel and the Middle East. And then I came back here.
Damn, that's pretty crazy, dude. So so you started in Europe. Did you like slowly make your way down to Asia, or were you like taking long? You're like, all right, I'm gonna fly.
No, I would just take buses everywhere. Like I hitchhiked. It was the coolest thing I've ever done. Like obviously terrifying if you're like a woman, maybe. But for me, I was standing on the side of the road and I was like, yeah, how far are you going? And I would be like in Croatia, and someone's like, I'm going up north. It's like, cool, I'm trying to get to Hungary. And then I drove with this guy for like 140 kilometers. And he's like, I'm going to start going west. Hungary's east if you want to get out here. And then I got out there and I was like, can you drop me off at a bus station at least? He's like, yeah, sure. Drop me off at a bus station. I get to the bus station. I was like, how much is it to get to Budapest? And he was like $20. It was something so cheap. And I was like, this is amazing.
Dude.
And I just got to meet like this random man. Like I was with this girl, Laura, that I had met in Albania randomly on a bus. Like it was like the whole trip was just like me out of a bag, like a small backpack too. Like I didn't have like this, I have like a hitchhiker's bag, like the travel bags, but it was like a 45 liter.
Damn,
like
bro.
most people will travel with like a 90 or something.
So like how often were you washing your clothes?
Every like 2-3 days. Like whenever I could like stay in like a
spot.
hostel or like I would stay off of people's houses and like couch surf and stuff like that.
So like how much money would you say you spent in the entirety of like?
I swear on everything, like in Europe, no more than like $1,200 a month.
That's
a
crazy.
month.
That's crazy.
It was the craziest thing ever. Like I would eat every night like croissants and
Yeah,
like
right.
boxed wine for 60
And you're what,
cents.
23 or something?
22 at the time, yeah. Yo, I drank 60-cent box wine for like a month and a half. And then I don't know where I was. I was like drinking like the same box wine somewhere else like one night and we were getting hammered. And this guy comes up to me. He goes, yo, that's cooking wine. I was like, no
You just
way.
been drinking cooking wine
Just
for 2 months.
chugging cooking wine for 2 months.
Jesus.
But here's the thing is, you drink enough, you get hammered. It's like, technically it does the same thing. I just think it's bad for your body. But
What was in your bag?
like two
how
pairs
many
of shorts.
two
like,
pairs of
Yeah,
shorts?
like one pair of long pants. Because I was traveling over the summer. So in my head, I was like, I don't really need winter clothes. I got there in the beginning of June, and then I didn't even come back till like fucking November-ish.
Yeah, and like if you're willing to be patient in those kind of situations, you can do things for like not a lot of money.
Oh,
but
close to nothing.
You just need to be down to like roll with the punches, basically.
Literally, yeah.
You know, you're like, all right, well, I guess I'm going here.
Well, I think the coolest part about it was like everyone there is doing that. Like once you start to meet like communities of travelers.
Right. Once you break, yeah, that's true.
Like you break this like, because at first when you get to a hostel, you're like, some of you are on vacation.
You open a portal.
Yeah, but then you meet the guy who's eating fucking 50-cent macaroni in a corner, and you're like, that guy's traveling on a budget.
That
Like,
guy's-
that guy didn't pay for the $15 family meal the hostel has. It's like he's making his own food every day here because he's traveling on a budget. So it's like I'd be in the kitchen cooking, and then I meet another guy who's cooking, and I was like, how are you? What are you doing? And he's like, I'm probably going to France after this. And I was like, tough, me too. And it's like, and then we're like, yo, we want to go together? And you're like, yeah, sure, let's go
Hilarious.
together. You start traveling with like different groups of people.
Nice.
I met this one guy. This was insane. I met this one dude in Croatia. This was the craziest thing ever. And we had a great time. For like 2 weeks, we met. Like it was dope as fuck. He was there like with his girl. Him and his girl were like travelers. They'd work at this. It was like a website. It's called Workaway. So like you could work all around the country. You'd work random jobs. So it was like yacht week. So they were there for the yacht stuff, and they would work like 12
I've heard
hour
about
shifts.
this. Yeah, that's cool.
And they would work on these boats. They would just get paid fucking cash. Obviously, there's no like taxes and anything that's going through these circuits. These people are paying them cash, and then you just come home to the hostel. So like they're staying in the hostel. They're making like 250, 300 euros a day. They do that for like the 2-3 weeks of yacht week. And while I was there, that's what they were doing. So they make a bunch of money. Then they keep traveling, stop somewhere else, work away
Do that again.
Stop somewhere else, work away again. It's
cool.
These him and his girl went to like Norway and drove sleds with like a pack of 12 wolves.
That's
Every
wild, bro.
fucking day through like snowstorms for like
They
6
were
months.
the ones like, yeah.
Literally.
What?
Yo, I saw videos and I was like, this doesn't look real.
What the fuck?
And then the next year, I went back to run with the bulls in Spain.
Did you do that?
Yeah. And then
What?
this dude was at my hostel.
Stop.
And I go upstairs and I'm like drinking like a beer and I walk up and he's like holding court talking to like 4 or 5 people. I just go,
Sven, what
I
up?
was like, dude, what the fuck? And he looks at me, he's like, buddy, how are you? Like, and then we just kicked it in Spain for like another week. I go downstairs, I see that girl that I met in Albania that I just said I went to fucking Croatia with.
Laura?
I see her at the same hostel.
Laura from
I was
Albania?
like, bro, what is going on?
Dude,
Like,
that's crazy.
Nothing planned. Just like these people staying at the same hostels because it's like I said, there's like circuits of hostels and places that people tell you like stay
Go to
here.
that
This
one,
one's
you'll meet
cheaper.
people.
They have a great kitchen. Like there's like little amenities that like people take note of, especially when you're traveling on a budget. Because you could stay at a hostel that's cheap, but then if they don't have a way for you to like make food, there's no like good common area for you to meet people. It's like, well, that defeats the purpose.
In some countries, it's harder to do for cheap than others. Norway being one of them in particular.
Yeah, Norway's so expensive.
Yeah.
So like you go anywhere in Scandinavia, it's expensive. But they were like riding, and like the guy had just finished in like
Crazy.
May doing that. And then I see him at his hostel in
Hilarious.
Barcelona. I was like, no way.
All right, bro. We need to talk about running with the bulls.
Yeah,
You ran
man.
with the bulls. What was going on with you, bro, at this time?
A lot of things, man.
You good? Like, it seems like you were searching for something, dude.
Nah, honestly, look, for anyone that's never been, you gotta go. Like, yo, it's
Just like on a backpacking trip?
yeah. I mean, like, it started off with like I have a buddy, this kid Dakota, wild boy. Like, I'm talking like, you ever seen like the cranes on like the tops of buildings?
He does that?
So he's a photographer, but he's also just like a wild dude. Bro, set his camera up on like a self timer and hung off the edge of one of the cranes in San Diego
And put it up
and
there?
has one of the sickest photos of just like the skyline of San Diego and him just hanging off a crane.
Dude, that's...
And then pulled
I'm
himself
freaked
back
out
up.
hearing that story, dude.
Yo, I mean, I'm freaked. My hands got sweaty looking at the photo.
Damn,
I was
bro.
like, and this is before I even met him. And I was like, oh, my boy is wild. Like, and I like crazy shit like that. Like, I just like adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is the guy. If we're going to go do some wild shit. And he was like, have you ever ran with the bulls? I was like, no. He's like, I want to go next year. You down? I was like, 100% we out. We went. The first time we went, we ran like 3 times.
Well, explain that. I thought it's just one time.
There's 9 days.
Okay.
So there's 9 days of the festival every single year. Day 1 is the biggest bulls. The last day is the biggest bulls. So it's like the opening ceremony and the last. I mean, the bulls are a bull's a bull, but like the scariest bulls, like the most dangerous bulls, they run on those days. So like you either want to be there for opening ceremony or the closing, and then you just run. Like everyone's getting lit. Like I'm talking. This is how I felt safe. Like first day when I went to run, it was like there was like 2 75-year-old Asian people, like just like this couple walking down the street, maybe clueless, but like the cops are standing by the barricade because once you walk in, they don't let you out. Like they don't want chaos of like people coming in, out before the run. Like about half an hour before, everything's locked down. Cops are there. They're like, bro, you're staying. Even if you're like, please, I want to get out. They're like, nope. Like you made the conscious decision to be here. You can get out once the run starts. Yeah, you can fucking book the fuck out, but like for
How
now,
can you do that, though?
absolutely
Isn't
not.
it gated?
It's gated, but like
You
it's
could
like
jump
wooden.
over?
It's wooden plank, so it's like there's like a wooden plank. Then there's like probably like a foot of space.
you can dive
a
in
wooden
between if you want.
Yeah, I mean, don't.
Do
dive.
people do
You'll
that?
probably miss. Yeah.
What do you
here's
mean
the
you
thing
probably
is-
miss? Aren't you right next to it?
Yeah, but there's people like standing on those things too. So it's like you trying to dive through. It's like you got to dive through people
Got it.
as well. Like those barricades are there, but there's people on top of the barricades because they want to watch.
Yeah.
This is like an event. So like all those barricades fill up, which is why the cops tell you, they're like, yo, once you're on, you can't leave because like now these people got to move. You're gonna cause too much havoc. It's like
Isn't Pamplona? Am I making that up?
Pamplona. yeah.
Pamplona. So, okay, how long is the run?
It's like a third of a mile.
Third of a mile. And, you know, do people get fucking trampled by the bulls?
I didn't know this, before I went. So the first day, like on the newspaper, the first day before we ran, it was a dude on the floor being dragged by a bull with a horn through his fucking arm and then coming out of his wrist.
Was he like,
Just being dragged down the street like that. And
did
that was
he
the
look
front-
fit?
I guess. I mean, that's the last thing you look at. Everyone's kind of just dressed the same. Everyone's got just like baggy white pants and a white shirt and like the handkerchief and the belt. Like, so everyone's in the
It's like a
exact same
uniform?
uniform. Yeah.
You have to wear that?
You don't have to, but like the whole fucking city's wearing it. Like it's part of it. Like if you're not, you're like, it's like going to like a sporting event in the playoffs and like you don't wear
Yeah, the thing.
The thing.
Did you have to sign anything? No, right?
No,
It's your
nothing,
thing.
no.
Okay, go kill yourself.
Yeah,
dude.
they
don't care.
they know what it is. There's paramedics on call. Like, and the first time we ran, I didn't know that people die because like when we read in
How
the
many
news-
people are dying? You know?
Bro, we read that no one had died since like 2009 in like
okay.
some article. And then we found out, no one's died on the street since 2009. But people die all the time from the injuries.
Got it. From getting gored
Yeah,
by a
like they'll
fucking
get
bull.
gored. They rushed to the hospital. That guy still dies because like the injuries were too
Do you know
severe.
how many of those people are dying?
I would say 5 to 10 a year minimum.
5 to 10 people. Damn, bro.
A year. And then like a lot of injured people. Like,
Damn.
There's so, like when you're running, what's crazy is while you're running, right? And there's like bulls to the left of you.
There's
like,
bulls near you.
Oh, I'm talking like an inch away.
So, okay. So it's not like people don't outrun them. You know, you're not like,
the like professionals, the guy who've been doing like 25 years, like they run between them and like it's like scary, whatever. But like most of the people are just sprinting down the street and like the bulls start to catch up to you. And here's the thing, there's so many people that even
and
if
you
you're
hear them
fast,
like, you hear,
you don't even hear that, bro. You feel the floor just,
oh my God.
and you're like, yo, the floor is
What the
shaking.
fuck,
Like, yeah,
bro?
it's like a
That's
terrifying
wild.
feeling. And you're like, it depends where you are on the run, but we were at the straightaway at the end, which is probably about, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and say it's like 500 yards, maybe more than that. And it's just like this straightaway after like this sharp turn. So the bulls come running, they smash into a wall and then run completely straight. And you have to run into the Coliseum.
Jesus.
Yeah. And like, At that point, that's when you feel the floor shaking. You're like jumping, you're trying to see when they're coming, and then out of nowhere, you just like, you can't even see because there's so many people, and they're just coming, and then out of nowhere, you start to see like the crowd split, and you're like, oh, they're here. And
Wait, like the crowd split in front of you, like people who are ahead of you?
Yeah, like no, well, like if you're looking back.
Oh, if you're like doing that?
Well, like even before that, we're just facing
Are you looking
that
back
way.
the whole time?
I'm just facing that way because you don't want to start running before the bulls get there. That's soft.
Oh, do people do that though?
Yeah, you can start like jogging in and whatever and like never see the bulls. But like if I'm going to run with the bulls, I want to run with the bulls.
So most people hold the line until a certain time.
Yeah, like to where you, obviously the people who the bulls have already caught up to are sprinting your way. But that's when you start to see it. It's almost like a natural
Wait, but why are there
disaster.
people who are further back than you? You can start at different points?
Yeah. Like,
So you're just sitting there standing waiting.
Yeah.
And people have already begun running.
Yeah.
So there's different places where you can start?
Yeah. I mean, like there's so many people running that like.
They have to space
Yeah,
it
you
out.
have to because like the road is so thin and narrow that like it just keeps going until it fills. But they don't let it fill past like half of the run.
So once you see the people like sprinting, you start going.
Well, kind of like you can like because the people like I said are starting to jog before the bulls are even there. You kind of got to wait. And then like you start to feel the floor tremble and then you start to see like people like running and it splits. And that's when you're like, oh fuck, this is it. And then you turn around and it's just out. You're out, bro. Like you're looking side. The bulls are coming. Obviously, you're kind of still looking back to make sure you don't get hit. Bulls are passing like within inches of
Bulls
you.
are running by you?
Right by you. And like while you're running too, what's crazy is like you're watching people underneath these bulls getting trampled as you're sprinting.
Do you see anybody get like
Oh,
bucked up in
100%.
the
Yeah,
air?
you'll watch like
What the fuck?
Bro,
this is way more fucked up than I thought.
No,
dude.
it looks like a natural disaster. Like when you watch like a movie and like let's say like Godzilla's here and you just watch people going like screaming coming this way, it's that. It's like these are just gigantic animals coming down the street. Like if you're all the way in the beginning, cool, you have a little bit of space. Once you start trying to squeeze in your head, you're like, well, I don't want to be packed into like a sardine and be like, yo, we're just a wall for these bulls to run through because they're going to run through it regardless.
Right.
Like they know where they're running.
Right.
So like if you're packed in and you can't move, that's not where you want to be. At
Are
least
they
for me.
going for you or are they just running and
Bro, they're just running
panicked?
straight through this thing. So like they let them out and the bulls they get about a quarter of a mile like before they even get like to open these gates. So like they open their gates, they start running down the street and then they open our gates and then it's just mad people and the bulls, they're not stopping. They're just running straight through.
Do they like torture them to make them angry? Like why are
For
they?
sure.
Okay.
For sure. Like they probably find like that's what they do with the like the bullfighting too.
They like piss them off a little bit.
Yeah, they get them more mad. They're like, oh well, you know, this
need to-
is our best matador.
Right.
We want the craziest bull for him. So in the back, they probably are just like splashing water in its face and being like, are you mad? Like, are you upset? And then that thing comes out and it's like, I'm gonna kill something.
Right.
But the matadors are insane. Like the bullfighting,
You've gone to it?
bro. Like here's the thing: is like I don't support the idea of like them killing the animals in the way they do it.
Do they kill them?
Yeah.
The
But-
bullfight, the matador kills the
Yeah,
bull.
yeah.
Oh shit.
But what I will say is they use the meat. So it's like it's not like they're just killing it, dragging it out. It's like they kill it. It's a fucked up way of killing it. But then they'll use the meat and stuff. Like you go to McDonald's and you're like, we're serving bull meat, and you're like, what
damn.
the fuck?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess this makes it a little better. But Jim, bro, that's wild.
Yeah.
What do you got, Ryan? What do you got over there?
Well, I was just curious what the minimum age you could participate was.
Oh, anyone. There's probably children in there too.
Really?
Like here's the thing is,
'Cause I'm seeing 18 online. That's one of the rules. But could you just like, is it willy nilly? You could sneak in.
yeah, I mean like, you can't look like you're 11. You know what I mean? Like, but like if you're
Yeah.
like 15 and you're like gone through puberty, they're not gonna be like, nope. Like you look like a grown man. They're not IDing.
There's not like a check-in process.
Yeah, they're not IDing people.
Yeah.
I will say the first time I went, I don't know if you guys know who Yohan Santana is.
Yeah.
But
The pitcher?
Yeah, the first time I went.
was there?
Yeah, bro.
You're like, yo,
And
he
I'm
was,
a
dude, he
diehard
was, didn't he
Mets
win a
fan.
Cy Young or something?
Yeah, well, I have like a crazy experience with it because like my prom night, like 2012, it was June 1st, 2012. That's when he threw the first Mets no-hitter. And we had our prom in Flushing, and I left prom with a couple of like the deans in my school to walk to Citi Field because we were in Flushing at like the whatever building that is. Like
That's crazy.
Like the little cylindrical building up on like that
Yeah.
pole.
Oh yeah, the like
So
World's
yeah,
Fair thing.
that's where we had our prom.
Oh,
So like we
hilarious.
left that and we were like, yo, let's go watch this no hitter. And we watched it from outside of the stadium from like the 7th inning.
Wow.
So in my head, I was like, Yohan's my guy.
then you just watch him get fucking gored by a bull.
Well, I guarantee no one else knew who he was. He's just walking down the
Yeah.
street. I go up to this guy. I was like, "You're Yohan Santana." He's like, "That's me." Like it's super Spanish. I was like, "Oh, this is the
That's
guy."
crazy.
I have mad pictures with him. I was like, "Yo, can I get a flick?" I was like,
Yeah,
"Yeah."
he was nasty. He was in Minnesota before that.
Yeah,
right?
but like a lot of people go to these events. Like usually they're up on like the balconies and shit. Like those are the expensive seats. But like sometimes people just want to like walk through and like see this shit as like a local.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild. Lynch, my friend, cuffing season is upon us.
It sure is.
This is when you hunker down and you hibernate with the person you love, if you got them. And if it's not, you're out there looking for somebody to do it with. But don't forget that if you get too lazy during cuffing season, you might come out of it
Uncuffed.
uncuffed. Get in there, crush it. It's never too late to get in shape. It's never too late to stay in shape. And always remember that it is a constant journey that requires pivoting and adjusting. But the most important thing, just like comedy, is consistency. Working out consistently, and how can you enable yourself to do that? Well, Fitbod is the app for you. You can design a workout based around a variety of factors, length, exercises, parts of the body you want to target. It will go ahead and whip out a workout for you. If you don't like it, you can switch exercises, you can mix and match. And within the app, dude, they actually have demonstration videos built into the app. The amount of times I've looked at a workout and it's like Tuscan hammer squat. I'm like, what is that? Then I go on YouTube. I don't have service. There's an ad. It's a bad video. I have to switch. I find another one. This has a video of every single exercise built into the app. I could go on and on and on. And I've been talking to all my friends about it too, in a way where they don't believe me that I'm not just doing an ad. They're like, all right, dude, like, we know you want us to sign up. And I'm like, that is true. But I actually mean this. Like, just because they are paying me doesn't mean that I don't actually mean this. Like, for real, Fitbod is making an impact on my life.
It's changing the way I'm working out. It is great. It's
It
fantastic.
rules, dude. It rules. You're looking good.
Thank
You're
you.
looking shredded. You're looking vascular. I look all right. I'm trying, but guess what? If I stick with it, I'm going to be looking better and better every day, and I'm excited about it.
Hell yeah.
So listen, it's never been easier to get the results that you've always wanted. Check out Fitbod. Get 25% off of your subscription at fitbod.me/oops. That's fitbod.me/oops.
50 to 100 people every year get injured by running with the bulls.
Oh, yeah.
And also as spectators.
Then it might
How
be
about
like
they die?
9 people, like 5 to 10 people a run. Then is what it probably is.
That die?
So what I read, it
injured.
was about 16 people in total have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's always like I said, there's always like a weird stat like that where they're like, oh, this many people have died, and then like you look more into it and you're like, oh, but a lot of people who like sustained goring injuries have also died.
Right.
Like some of these people are still fucked up. Like
Yeah. Well, it's unclear if that may mean that. That may mean what you were saying.
yeah,
too.
like you get stepped on by a bull on your head. Hey, you're not a normal guy anymore. You know what I mean? Like you're eating through a tube or
Hilarious,
something. Like, they gotta put you on a high chair.
Yeah, bro. I mean, look, yeah, you survived
Iron
those
lung.
guys at the VMA party, but
that was my running with the bulls.
but yeah. Getting pepper sprayed by the bulls.
When I was getting stomped out, I was like, I've been here before, dude.
Hilarious. So Ryan here is taking the plunge. He's begun doing stand-up.
Okay.
And I think one fun, nice new thing we want to do is start asking whoever guests we have on if they have any advice for Ryan as a stand-up comedian beginning. Is there anything you would tell him?
My first open mic in April.
Okay, but like, are you doing shows?
Yeah, I'm starting to do shows
Yeah,
now.
just keep doing shows, dude.
Yeah.
Straight up. I just think it's like, honestly, I just think it's like a consistency thing. Like for so long, it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That's just the truth of it. Like, will you luckily like, because I mean, you know, Giulio, like you already know certain people who are in it. So it's like, that'll help the process of like getting booked quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think like all of it takes fucking forever. Like it's tedious. It's like one of those things like, I don't think stand up is hard. I think it's tedious. Like
I agree
it's a
with that.
lot of work. Yeah. It's a lot of work and it's like annoying work. Like you're writing some shit and you're like, fuck. Like let's say you waited all week to do one show and you're like, I got this one joke, and then you forget the joke. You're like, fucking shit, dude.
Or the show sucks.
Now you got or like whatever it is. It's like now I gotta wait again to run this new thing that I've been wanting to run.
Yeah.
And that might be your new best joke, but like it takes you 3 weeks to get to do it since the time you wrote it, especially in the beginning, because like you're not getting booked like crazy. So
Which
you're
makes
writing a
sense.
lot.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to interrupt. It makes sense why once these people become big pros, it's much easier to
Turn out.
shit
Yeah.
because you're getting so many quality reps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you get to do it for like people that want to hear you. Like in the
That
first
too. There's
whatever
a lot of
amount
things
of
that go
years,
into it,
you're
yeah.
gonna be doing stand up for people who are like, no thanks. For solo, especially an open mic, bro. Like every single person at an open mic is like, I don't care about this guy. I'm trying to do my joke.
Yeah, everyone's just waiting for their turn.
Yeah.
Now, did you start in San Diego?
Yeah.
You're from San Diego.
Yeah.
So what was
From
the
here,
open mic?
yeah.
What was the open mic scene like there? Because right
Same
here, there's
shit.
there's dozens that I have access to plenty of them. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to as many as possible. But like, how did you find consistency with
I
XYZ
didn't.
amount of opportunities?
I got like 0 opportunities in San Diego, which is so weird because like I was working my ass off. But like you just got to go to different rooms. Like for me, it's like I started off going to like comedy clubs, wasn't getting any love there, and then I started going to like it was this thing. It was called Black Expressions, and it was like pretty much like only black people were going there and like some Hispanics, but it was like curated for that community of people being able to come through and express themselves. A lot of spoken word, a lot of music, a lot of singers, rappers. Like it was all types of people. It was like a mixed thing, but they would let me come do 10 minutes every week. And for me, I was like, well, this is the best mic I can have because it's 100 people who are like at least having a good time. So I'd go there every Friday. I would pay my $5 or $10 or whatever the fuck it was. And I would perform. And then I started meeting people and people like would come up to you after and they're like, bro, you're doing it, you're trying, you're fucking whatever, but it's like, this is the best reps I'm going to get. So you just got to find the best room to work out in and find that, I think. Like find a comfortable place to continue to take those jokes that you think are good. Because to take good jokes to a bad room also doesn't really
But that's
matter.
hard because you don't even know. You're like, oh, I thought
Yeah.
this was good, but it's not. You don't know yet. Like
Yeah.
that might be good.
Yeah.
That's a thing that you need to learn as well.
Well, because like I said, like you're writing shit down and then you're doing it for bad, like for people that don't give a shit. And you're like, all right, I mean, hopefully I get to do this for a room that does give a shit. So it's like before you ever even get to do that joke at like a good comedy room can be weeks sometimes. And you're like, come the fuck on, like even if there's life there, like you lose a crowd immediately because like I said, no one gives a shit. Like you're just another guy in that thing. Like everyone's doing the same thing. Whereas like at least when you're working with people who work in the industry, like let's just say someone goes up before you and kills and you have some new shit, but at least they know that they're at a show and that people will kill on the show. So like they're not jaded. Like they're not watching 15 people in a row go up and bomb and then you come up. Like you don't have to be the savior of a show. It's almost like you get to just be part of the show. Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah,
I think.
appreciate
I don't know.
that. Yeah.
Like, I just felt like going to like those the rooms that had like a little bit of everything were the best rooms for me. Because I was like, those rooms get more people than open mics. So I was going to like variety rooms and like I said, people doing spoken word, poetry, singing, rapping. Like some people are just like selling stuff and they're like, hey, like if you guys want to support whatever, like, but it was that, but it was a community, so you're like, yeah, there's a fucking 100 people here. Like you're not going to get 100 people at an open mic, like for me, that was better than any show I was even on. So I was like, I'm just going to go to this every single week. And then we would just go to that every single week. And like, until, you start to find like a flow or like a comfort to the way you're doing it. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm like finding my voice, my pace, the way I want to do this.
Cool.
Everyone's going to tell you like, do it this way and don't fucking do it how you feel like comfortable. Like I like talking to people like it's my friends, but I speak quickly. Like even on like a natural basis, I just speak fast. And when I started, people were like, bro, you got to slow down. It's like, do you? Like if I'm getting the right words off and I'm just saying it quickly, but I'm getting pops, who cares? This is like my tone. This is how I speak. But like everyone's going to give you like advice on how to do it. I don't think there's a how to do it. I just think like figure out like the work ethic before you figure out how to do this, which is like just show up.
Yeah, there's like basic things that will sort of work for everybody that are really general. And then from there, there's like more nuance. It's like you have to do it a lot. You have to be around a lot.
Yeah.
Those are like things I think that everybody would agree with. But yeah, to your point, like style wise, yeah, you got to take all the advice with a grain of salt, dude.
Yeah, because
some of it might be
you gotta
whack.
do it like this. It's like, no, you don't.
I took a lot of whack advice when I first started doing comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a different time, but like I had my glossy business card with my face on it.
Genuinely believe this. I think the people who gave me the most advice were the worst comics.
Yeah.
Like the people who were like, yo, this is how you do it.
Oh yeah, totally. And you
I
don't
was
know
like,
any better.
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
whack
So you're
ass
listening,
dude.
you're like, oh, years passed by and I was like, you didn't know a goddamn thing. Like you just wanted to feel like,
you know something because you're whack.
Yeah, like you're not even doing it correctly.
Yeah.
So like that's what I felt was weird. It was like the people that initially gave me advice from like, bro, you got to do it like this and you got to like change this and play with it. It's like, you suck.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering from anybody that's been giving advice. It really comes down to just like finding your own formula,
Yeah.
work ethic.
Like I said, it's tedious.
And consistency.
It's more tedious than it is hard, I think. Like, because being funny, you could be funny with your friends at a barbecue. You could be funny with your friends on a couch. You could be funny anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, being funny isn't the difficult part. It's like finding out how to express that and just like grinding at that. Like, it's just, it's like you're giving a speech if you think about it. Like, you have to be accustomed to being the only one talking, holding court or whatever.
Thank you.
Final thing we like to ask people when they come on the show, full day for you on the road. You wake up in a city, you have a show that night. What does your day look like?
Beat my meat, wipe my meat on the curtains. No, I don't know. I don't know, man. I like walking around. Like, I'm a big, like, I can't sit in a hotel.
Do you rent
It's
a car?
so sad. Sometimes.
Okay.
Depending like where I'm going. But like anywhere that I'm going, I like exploring the city. It's like my favorite thing to do is like I'll ask people food. I want to go try whatever food people suggest. Sometimes it's trash, sometimes it's good. But like if someone's like, you gotta go have this, I was like, all right, fine, I'll try it. Just walk around the city, honestly. Like I like being on my own. Like that's how I write anyways. Like if I throw some music on, I don't write sitting in silence at home. Like I write taking a walk, listening to music, and then thinking about my jokes as music is playing. And then I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I'll go into my notes and I'll add some shit to a joke or whatever, go back to the room. Like, especially now, like we're doing the whole film thing. So it's like, I'll look at film from the night before. What jokes do I want to play with? Structure it, like write some notes. Maybe I should try this. Maybe I should try this. But like road shit, I'm always just like clocked in. Like,
What do you mean clocked in?
Like clocked into like the stand-up stuff. Like I have a little bit of fun, but like, even the idea of me being like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go, like, I don't do that. Like, I don't get hammered anymore. Like, I don't really, it doesn't do anything for me. I like the idea of like my night ending and being like, oh, that was fun. Let me hang out with like a couple people that maybe I know there or that I met there, or like the opener sometimes would be like, oh, you want to come to this bar? And you're like, sure, I'll go with him. And like just making those, I guess, like relationships. So when I come back, next time is even better. That's what I see it. It's like, I'm not going to be at the city one time ever. I'm going to be here again and again and again. So it's like, I want to know what to do from the first time. And the second time we do a little more and then a little more. And it's like, now you start finding like the good shit.
Okay. But still, it sounds like, so you're like all business, right? You're thinking about the jokes the whole time. You're thinking about
Sporting events, I think too.
building
I think
the
that's a
thing,
good
but
way.
you will go to a sporting event in the city?
Yeah. So it's like if I go upstate, I went to like a Syracuse game. I was in Cleveland. I went to a Browns game. I was in Kansas City this weekend. I wanted to go to the Chiefs, but that was on Thursday. So they weren't there Friday, Saturday. When I go to Seattle, I'm going to the Washington game.
Oh,
I already
nice.
plan to go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
This weekend in Tampa, there's nothing going on. I think the Rays are actually in the playoffs, possibly.
Oh, they're out.
They're out. Yeah. So it's like, I can't go to that. But like, I'm a big sports head. So like, if I go somewhere and I can go watch like a sporting event, that'll
be your entertainment.
Even if I go for like half the game, because like, I got to get back to the hotel for the show. I just like that. Because I can go there, have a beer, and feel like I'm having a good time. The energy is good. Like, you feel like you did something that day, even if it wasn't like super expensive. And most sporting events are cheap. Especially like college games and things like that. Like when you go to a city and it's college football season, like right now, oh my God, I'm gonna go to every single college game I can. Like
Sick.
it's the most fun thing. Like the energy at college games is crazy.
It's crazy, right?
Went to Syracuse blowing out some school. They were blowing out like Colgate or something.
They were losing their minds.
And we're just sitting there and everyone's, it's like 37-0. You know, like it's not even close. It's not a good game, but we're just watching Syracuse throw bombs, like 50-yard touchdowns. We're like, this is tough. Like it's a fun environment. Yeah.
Sick, dude. All right.
What do
awesome.
you usually do?
Oh, on the road? Oh,
Yeah.
well, interesting. No one's ever asked that back when we do it. I mean, I talk about it a lot, but basically, I don't know, dude. Like I like national parks a lot. So I think my new formula, which I'm settling on, is like, if there's some really dope shit that I want to see, I'll stay an extra day.
Yeah.
And then like once, because sometimes if you go do some exploratory shit, like you can tire yourself out a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to like be tired for my shows. It kind of just depends. If it's like 2 shows, if it's like 2 nights of 2 shows, whatever. So like I'll try to like back end the trip with some fun shit. During the day, like I'll usually like hit a lunch and then I hit a nap, wake up with enough time to like get my thoughts together, jot some shit down, get ready, take a shower, try to get in the green room like an hour before the show and just like lamp and get ready to rip.
That's what, I always think about that. I'm like West Coast, I only fly back on like a Sunday.
Yeah.
Like Sunday night, I want the red eye. I don't want to waste my Sunday. Like I don't see
yeah.
the point of me leaving at 7 a.m., flying back 5 hours.
Yeah, agreed.
Losing 3, and then being like, oh, it's 8 p.m. I lost my Sunday anyways. I might as well enjoy that Sunday over there, lose the night of sleep, and then on Monday I'll just get my life together when I land.
100%. Yeah, I basically did that when I went to Seattle. But I stayed. I left. I came back on Monday during the day. I just hate red eyes.
That's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm doing Monday night. So I land back on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I have the Halloween show. Oh, actually, let's promote that. For
Oh,
you.
sick. Yeah.
Halloween, New York City Halloween show at the Stand.
Sweet.
October 31st.
Oh yeah. And where can we find you on socials and everything?
Just my name, Max Manticof with a little underscore at the end. That's on everything: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Lynch, anything to add?
Oh, Ryan is really polite. Check out our store for some merch at oopsthepodcast.com. Email us at oopsthepodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah. You know me, bro. Not Julio, all that shit. Hit us up. Thank you. And Max, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, appreciate you, dog.
Later.